I can see in all your pupils to what extent you're expanded. I already know what your answer to certain questions are going to be, what kind of struggles you're going to have, what you're going to tend to focus on. I'll probably have about 90% success rate on it. About 90%. I can't guarantee there's going to be some I just totally miss it, but I can genuinely see it. Now that surprises you. You're like, I can see the looks in a lot of your face. You're like, really? I never knew someone could read into my soul like that. Guys, you can learn how to read people like that. You can read people like that I mean, you said you're someone who's aware, not to like put you on the spot, who's aware of energy. Could you maybe stand up and just suggest what you look for, like what you can feel and how you can see it and how it's completely obvious? Maybe one or two. Yeah, could you just stand up just for 1 sec, just say to the group? Like, what can you read? When you see somebody, tell them what you can read about someone just from looking at them for a second. And the obvious things that it surprises you that other people can't read. Or just anything you want to add.
I would say the look in the eyes. And also the head tilt. I think it's really important how the head tilts. Posture.
What do you, and so let's take posture as an example, or the head. What might it indicate about what's going on inside the person emotionally based on those things? What things might you see?
Well, posture, if let's say you're up and relaxed, then technically you're more confident, you're at ease. If you're slumped over, you're feeling more down, negative. And then if you're, let's say, totally relaxed, you're just in a complete peace state.
Okay, so that's good. Now, want me to take you a level deeper? Yeah. Okay, so keep standing. Let's say that I go up to you, and I was slouched, okay? Or let's say I was doing this, okay? And I walk up, I say, how are you doing? Now with my shoulders up.
You're tense, you're nervous.
But let me ask you a question. Let's go a bit deeper, okay? So in most cases, people, if they're tense, will do that. In most cases. Now, if I'm speaking to you like this right now, and I'm speaking to you like this right now, and I'm speaking to you like this right now, and I'm speaking to you like this, she doesn't need it, we're good, just leave it alone. If I'm speaking to you like this right now, and I'm speaking to you like this right now, I'm speaking like this right now, I'm speaking like this right now. Does it feel different to you or no?
Very different.
Okay, so in most cases, let me ask you guys a question. Do you guys feel that different when I do it like this? Do you guys feel that different when I do like this? Okay, so I'm throwing you for a loop, okay? I'm messing with you a bit. So what you'll generally, if we want to go a level deeper, we have physical manifestations of insecurity, but then even deeper is like, let me show you, okay, who here is somebody who generally feels like they don't, okay, you come over here. Come over here. No, you. Come over here. Okay, pop over. Okay, so he's looking at the ground already. He's tense. Can you see how tense he looks right now? Okay, so, okay, say hello to the audience.
Hello.
Okay, so his voice can't project. And by the way, I hate to say it, you guys just insulted him, by the way. Oh. You want to know why? You literally, do you want to know my greatest fear of being in a wheelchair? Not the wheelchair. I'm not afraid of a wheelchair. You know what scares me? Everybody's going to be too nice. That's what scares me. They're going to be too nice. That honestly terrifies me. Everyone like, hi. And I'm like, come on, man, insult me. Treat me like normal, right? Remember I said earlier, people don't treat, like they'll say, don't treat women like normal. So when you guys clap, what was the reason you guys clapped for him? To make him feel better because he looks nervous, right? But it was very nice of you to do it. So now, if you take him, okay, so we can change this and it will help because he's already going to change just from this. Now he's like freaking out a bit, but like he's already going to change just from this. By the way, part of why he doesn't want to look like this is because as you raise in status, you open yourself up to threats, okay? To haters, basically. So he's actually trying to be in safety, not a hater. Now, if you look, like, what would you change about him to make him more relaxed physically right now?
Shoulder.
Can you let them down a bit, or is that all you got?
That's all I got.
Pull them up. Go down all the way. Up. Down all the way. Okay. What else would you change?
Hands, thumbs pointed outwards.
Okay, thumbs out. Okay. Like that?
Not like totally outwards, but you know,
okay. Like this? Okay, so, okay. All right. Now, say hello.
Hello.
Okay, now what I'm going to do, tell me the worst way to do it. What would be some bad examples?
Just say hi.
No, with my body. Show me some bad stuff.
You like go totally up and then also like, you know, and then like maybe inwards.
Okay, so now what we're going to do, Okay, so he's perfect. Now say hello.
Hello.
Say hello, audience.
Hello, audience.
Now if I say hello, audience, now you say it.
Hello, audience.
Hello, audience.
Hello, audience.
Okay, he's trying his best. I love it. But notice that even with the bad manifestations, you can actually go even a level deeper. And this is why body language, as she said, is very important to study. Very important. But then it's equally important to go even deeper than body language and ask yourself, what does that body language represent? What does it even represent? Because if you're insecure inside yourself, even with really good body language, if I'm like, right? Because that's what you've been doing.
Yeah.
Do you want to know how I would work on him, by the way? Do you want to know what I'd really do? I'd make him so uncomfortable that he'd move into a higher status behavior because he goes for safety. He's trying to hide at the center of the tribe. So if I make your life completely miserable, and then I re-anchor that to when you actually are better, because this little low status thing is hiding. You're hiding. What are you hiding from? I should pace my voice here because I'm doing 4 more days. Okay, you talk like that for 4 days. By the end, you're like, okay. So what are you hiding from, right? What are you hiding from? Tell her what you're hiding from.
Pain.
From pain? Are you afraid that someone like her wouldn't talk to you? Does that scare you? Say, I'm afraid you wouldn't talk to me. Say it.
I'm afraid you wouldn't talk to me.
I'm afraid you'd make me feel unattractive.
I'm afraid you'd make me feel unattractive.
I'm afraid that my friends would laugh at me for you not talking to me.
I'm afraid that my friends would laugh at me for you not talking to me.
I think I couldn't meet someone like you.
I think I couldn't meet someone like you.
Okay, now listen to his vocal tonality there. Does he sound honest?
Yes, he does.
That's a problem. Now, okay. Now, say I completely know that I could meet someone like you.
I completely know that I can meet someone like you.
Does it sound honest? He's on the fence, right? Do you see that? Okay, watch this, okay? Face this way. Okay, out of 10, I rate myself a 10. Say that.
Out of 10, I rate myself a 10.
I rate myself a 9.
I rate myself a 9.
I rate myself an 8.
I rate myself an 8.
I rate myself a 7.
I rate myself a 7.
I rate myself a 6.
I rate myself a 6.
I rate myself a 5.
I rate myself a 5.
I rate myself a 4.
I rate myself a 4.
I rate myself a 3.
I rate myself a 3.
I rate myself a 2.
I rate myself at 2.
I rate myself a 10.
I rate myself at 10.
I rate myself a 2.
I rate myself at 2.
I rate myself a 3.
I rate myself at 3.
Do you see now why congruence is so important? Even if you get the body language down, they're still going to sense the congruence. Now, when she said she can detect energy, can you easily see incongruent statements versus congruent? So that's why the body language is the first layer, and you want to study that. You want to be very clear on what great body language is, because otherwise it's exactly like she was saying. And then after you've done that, the body, it's like, here's the pot of gold. One of the first things to look for is things that you're saying, like self-qualifying stuff, weird, creepy stuff. Then going deeper, it's like body language and fixing that. Then going deeper, it's fixing the inner game. But by the way, when you fix the inner game, what happens to the body language and what's going to happen to the creepy stuff? You see that? Look at the pain and the torture and the agony. And you want to know what the mainstream would tell me to do to him? They'd say, just be a nice guy, don't be a creep. Okay, now you'll meet somebody. Who's he going to meet if I just say, don't work on your body language, don't work on your beliefs, don't work on your congruence, don't get better at meeting people, don't build up the ability to read social cues, don't learn how to meet a bunch of people? That's a naughty thing to do. Stay like this. Now, he looks cute. If this stays like this for another 10 years, how old are you now?
20.
What does this look like at 30? What does this look like at 40? Doesn't even make it to 40. What does this look like at 50? He can't even take this as a joke. If I was at an Anthony Robbins seminar and he's like, what's this guy going to look like in 10 years? I'd be laughing my ass off. because that's kind of funny. But he can't even laugh. He can barely laugh right now. He's contracted. You guys see it? Do you see the contraction? He's in competition. You're being judged. People are judging you. Look. The type of person you'll never meet, ever. Because you're just a little 3. A little 3. And not only are you 3, but you're here to get help. And instead of getting help, you got laughed at by a woman. And laughed at by the entire crowd. Now, when you guys are seeing him up here, are you judging him? No. Are you like, whoa, that's super cool that he's up here? Yeah. Give me a hand for that. Yeah. You can have a seat if you want to. I don't want to make you stand alone. Thank you for sitting. Appreciate it. So, okay. You see that? Even as I'm sitting here cracking jokes, he doesn't laugh. Do you guys ever remember when I've made videos where I say that I didn't laugh for my first 20 years? And that I was in and I'll be like, I'll get dramatic. I'll be like, I was in a living hell. Do you remember me saying that? Yeah. My newest video, I said that. I was worse than this. 2 decades. 2 decades. Trapped in that. But what's funny is, you're not trapped. It's all in here. It's all in here. It's just a contraction. That's all this is here, sit here with me. So what's his problem right now? Why can't he laugh?
Can't let go.
He's in massive contraction right now. There's things I'm saying that are literally going over his head. He's not able to take the wisdom, but what does he have going for him? He's here. He's sitting in this room. He's getting feedback, right? Now, why am I so motivated and inspired to teach this kind of content? Simple. I've met guys like yourself that literally a decade later look completely different. So I'm looking at you now, and I know what you can be. Were you going to say something? Of course not. So what you have is a situation, I'm just going to keep teasing. Well, you want to make the old identity painful. See, he hides, right? It's like he hides at the center. We have to make the center more scary than the edge. So what we have here, right, because it's fear-based, right? I'll tell you a couple things that you probably don't know that much, and then we'll go meta, we'll go direct. First of all, you're going to die. It's okay? Got news for you. You're going to die. You ever know anyone that died?
Yeah.
Who died?
My grandmother.
Okay. You ever have a friend your age die?
No.
Soon you will, if you're lucky. Because if you're unlucky, you'll be the one that died. Now, from there, like I'm very lucky because I've had friends die. I'm 40. I could have been the one that did die. Like my friend John died this year. I'm the lucky one. So, okay. Crazy, right? Now, that's what happens as you get older. You get lost. That's why by the way, that's why as you get older, you do have to let go more. Because you will have loss. You can lose your kids. Crazy stuff as you get older. So you better let go. You talk to a lot of older people that have really let go. They look super happy, but they've been through a horrible loss. But they have to be happier. So you're still in contraction. You still believe, in my view, that the world is separate from you. I'm separate from you. You don't even know that we're related, right?
Yeah.
Are we related?
Yeah.
How? Oh, but look, we're different color. Oh, how could we be related? How are we related?
We're human.
We're both human. At one point, we were the exact same genetics. At one point. Do you know that?
Yeah.
As a woman, do you realize, I mean, I pretty much have boobs, but I'm quite above average. But likewise, if like I'm basically half woman. I mean, how many of my ancestors, like you think I'm a woman? Really? I mean, you are a woman, I would guess. Hey, you got to be careful these days. I mean, I don't want to say the wrong thing. I got to ask. But the point is, see, that's funny because 10 years ago, it'd be offensive to ask, are you a woman? And today it would be offensive not to ask. I mean, I have to think on that. Now, so what you have is, you're like when you think of your ancestors, do you think of all the previous strong women who came before you when you think of your ancestry or no? No. For you guys who are men in the room, that's very open-minded. For you guys that are men in the room, when you think of your ancestors, do you think of other men that were hunting? Or do you think of your ancestors like some women staying back to take care of the kids? What do you think as just at a first snap of the finger? What do you think of? Man. Right? But that's not true. That's not true. It's completely an illusion. It was half women. If you're somebody who didn't like women, you literally hate half your ancestors. If you're a woman that doesn't like men, you hate half your ancestors. If you're somebody that didn't like another race, you hate yourself. So we're actually related, okay, at one point. Now let's go weirder. You're also related to the other animals too. You know that?
Yeah.
You're also made part of the same stardust as this thing. Now what's happening as soon as I begin to show non-separation to his demeanor right now, even if I just suggest it, what's happening to his energy? He was now he's going to contract back, but he was smiling for a second, letting go for a second. He's like, got to go back in. No, it was a trick. A trick. He's half right. So the world is 50% the physical world where we are different, but 50% the energetic world, okay? So what you have here is that he's very in the physical world. He doesn't realize it, but he's actually in the physical world. So he's contracted. Because from the physical world standpoint, you are always under threat of annihilation and death and losing in competition. But in energetic world, we're all one and the same. This is kind of like Eastern philosophy ideas in general. So right now, he needs a little bit of Eckhart Tolle in his life, really. You know, he needs Eckhart to come and soothe him. Okay? And he needs to get in the present moment. His thinking is very dense. Now, we always think we should think more. We can think our way out of problems. Can he think in the mode he's in now, from this mode, can he think his way out of this? No. There's no thinking out of this. In my opinion, maybe there is, right? Maybe he'll be like, E equals MC squared, and he's like, ah, okay, you know, right? That could happen. So, so again, remember, like I said, in my first 20 years, fiery hell, couldn't laugh, couldn't read social cues. Of course, he's not going to be able to read social cues well. He's trapped in here, right? There's too much bandwidth being monopolized up in here right now. There's not really a lot that he can do. Now, this is why I've recommended to guys to go work on social skills. Now, if he actually goes out and works on social skills, here's what would happen. He'd go do approaches. 95% of people would be very rude to him. But about 5%, either due to party mode or due to just being very friendly, would actually be nice, right? And what would happen is, a couple times they'd be nice, and when an external source would give him validation, because he cares too much what people think, that's why he's contracted, he doesn't get the feedback he wants, so he's in a defense mode. Because he cares too much, he'd get a rush. Now what would happen is when people like him, he would switch on. Suddenly he'd start laughing. I mean, you have laughed before, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So suddenly he'd start laughing. Then he'd start having fun. And then what would happen is his mind would start working at a higher level. Now, as his mind starts working at a higher level, then what would proceed to happen is his genius would begin to switch on. He might have a business idea, a professional idea, a cool idea of somewhere to go, maybe how to structure his social life better, maybe some other higher thinking ideas. So, and also the cortisol would lower in his body. So then he wouldn't get sick as much and he'd be more vibrant. Things would go better for him. But then what would happen is that would be stripped away very quickly and he'd sink back down. Now from that sink back down, it's a little bit how some people will reference psychedelics, where they'll say they do a psychedelic, they get a momentary experience of a higher reality, then they go back down, but they can at least say I have a frame of reference for what that's like, and so they can sort of vaguely remember it. Well, for me, that wasn't my path, but my path was the kind of psychedelic, I mean, it sounds weird, but of getting social validation in little doses. And I'd feel my brain switch on. And then what would happen after months of going out, when I was in my first year of it, was a couple times I had a couple good reactions in a row, which jacked up my winter effect, jacked up my serotonin, my dopamine, acetylcholine, GABA, like it went boom into winter mode. My brain started working, and then what happened was several in a row started to go well, because it became a loop. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I'd have these amazing nights. That's what I got addicted onto. Okay, so I get addicted on that, and then what proceeded to happen was I started to get a frame of reference for that, and I'd go out every day just trying to get that back. Who here has had that experience where you had such a rush from going out? It's crazy, right? You get addicted on that. A lot of people think guys get addicted to going out to improve their dating life. A lot of it is just that rush that you get. And then the success in dating is the icing on the cake, which is awesome too. But that's sort of like a temporary sensation, whereas this is really changing your entire life, changing everything. So then what'll happen is you'll have those experiences, and then this brings, so the first set of questions is, wait a minute, I don't have to be in contraction all the time. The next set of questions is, wait a minute, I can actually be out of contraction for maybe an hour. Then the next set of questions is, how can I get out of contraction not relying on other people? Say the word not relying on other people. Relying on other people. So for me, the blueprint, that program that I made, that was me realizing that I could make it inside myself. What I basically said there was, you can get validation from either looking really good, having the right clothes, having the right haircut. You know that feeling of a nice, crisp new haircut, nice new shirt? Maybe that feeling when you're the one running the party. Maybe that feeling that when you're having a great night out and everybody loves you. You ever had it where you got a new piece of clothing and everybody compliments you on that new shirt, even though they don't know you and they don't know it's new? You ever had that where they don't even know it's new? Later, when the shirt was even freshly ironed and looks about the same as when it was new, you don't get the compliment nearly as much. You ever notice that weird phenomenon? Very weird, right? These little weird, like almost psychic-ish little micro signals we're somehow sending out. It's like weird and trippy. Like, I don't know how to explain it, actually. But there's something about it, right? So in the blueprint, I said, how can I make it where my sense of value comes from inside? How can I make it what I called core value? How can I get it out of where I'm needing something from, I'm needing good social feedback. I'm needing to have new clothes. I'm needing to have money. See, because what happens is this. In consumer culture, they flash images of a certain body type, right? Like right now, for women, a lot of the time it's a skinny model like a Victoria's Secret. What did skinny mean? Oh, skinny and a tan these days, right? But what did skinny and a tan mean 300 years ago? It meant that you were starving and out farming. You wanted to be pale and plump. It means that you're inside while everybody's getting you the food and you're well fed. There's all these like erotic images of these like big pale women, like, and that's what would arouse somebody. It is a lot of social conditioning. So we get socially conditioned on a certain look. Maybe it's an Eastern European look. And that social conditioning kicks in, right? That's what it was for years. Now we're actually getting more diversity in models, which is amazing. It's important. So what happens is there's a certain look, and we think that we need that to get access to our dopamine, to get access to our winner effect. And until we can live up to an image that we saw in a magazine, we don't feel right. We don't feel good. But here's what happens. You work and work and work to live up to that image in the magazine. You get it. I've been in situations where I've had it. And what'll happen is you'll get a rush for a hot minute. But what have you done to your mental synapse, your mind synapses? Because synaptic pathways, they get wired up. The same thought you're having over and over, it becomes a synaptic pathway. If you're thinking, I'll be happy when, 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 what happens when happens? You think you're like, no! Of course you are for a minute. Most of your life looks like this. You go along at your typical emotional addiction baseline. When something bad happens, you feel super terrible. Go along at your emotional baseline. You forget your keys, you're late. Super cortisol, anger, terrible. Something good happens. Is it proportional to how bad you feel when something bad happens? No. Something good happens. It's like that. I can tell you, I remember when I wanted to get 100 subscribers on YouTube. And I kept building my channel, building my channel, building my channel, building my channel. And thinking, when I have 100,000 subscribers, that's like going to be perfect. Then I got 100,000 subscribers. Do you think that I was like doing cartwheels and jumping around and like confetti? What do you think I looked like when I got to 100K subscribers? What do you think it looked like visually?
Okay.
I went, hey guys, 100K. Sweet. It's awesome, dude. 6 figures. Yeah. Definitely be easier to get collabs now if you say, I got 100K. That's better than 99K. 100K. Who should we collab with? I don't know. Brandon Carter. I don't know. Who did? Cool. What else are you working on? Man, we got to get these videos done. We could have lost the shot. Oh, this guy lost the shot. Right? We worked so hard on that, you lost the shot. Oh no, some shots went good. You got 200K. Sweet. Cool. See that, right? That's what happens. By the time that you get to the lifestyle in the magazine, you probably can't even enjoy it anymore. You've been trained on I'll be happy when. It's a horrible mental habit. The problem is on the other side, if you're always happy for no reason, what's the downside of that? You might not do anything. So, you got to find the happy medium. So, right now, if he was surrounded by attractive people that were crawling all over him, wanting him to have his way with them, begging for it, if he had money, piles of money, this is what he'd look like, I bet. He'd be freaked out. He would be freaked out. There's a video made back in the day by this old YouTube group called Simple Pickup. And they had this very attractive Asian girl, what was her name? I can't remember, walk up to men and offer to hook up with them. Do you know what most of the guys did? They ran away. It was not even in their RAS or their reality that could happen. Then there was a couple guys like, hell yeah, right? And they're like, go for it. And she's like, no. But yeah, they do that. They literally, you just see the guys like running off. There's actually a fear that some other alpha person from the tribe will come kill them if they take the mate of the high status person. That's why they're nervous, actually, right? So to unwire this, it's a process. It's like a journey, right? And for you to say, improve your dating life, that's really just one small part of the puzzle. You understand that, right? Yeah. Like that's one area to work on. It's a great area to work on. It's very motivating, taps into natural human drive, so it's awesome. But have you guys ever heard me say that when I worked on my dating life, that was the least of what I was working on? And some people are like, what could be more important than that? That one thing. Right now, if he stays like this in this contraction, but maybe just, improves his dating life to a really wild level. Say he had a wild dating life, but was at this level, would that be fixing the issue? I mean, it certainly wouldn't hurt, right? But is that really the most important thing here? What do you think? Who here thinks dating is the most important? All that it would really do, it would make it where he'd rely on getting attention from the opposite sex in order to be okay with himself. What's amazing, what you don't realize, the single person in this room with the most potential for advancement is him. And that's not give him a nice one to be nice. No. You look like a very happy person. This guy is way more likely to go to an elite level than you. Of course he is. Because if he actually takes this as I need to get out, I will do whatever it takes, he's going to establish impeccable habits to work his way out of this, and then those habits are going to have momentum. If you're genuinely a happy person, it's hard to get that kind of momentum. It's like if you take a ball and you kind of drop it lightly on the ground, it bounces a bit. If you take it and you're like, bam, it shoots up, what is that, like a kinetic potential? Is that the word? I don't know. I'll pretend I know. That's the kinetic potential. Okay, so you actually, believe it or not, that contraction, some people would look at you, the mainstream actually would look at you and say, he's some shy guy, just tell him to leave people alone, play his video games and rot. But I like to defend the weak. So I look at you and I think back to my case like that, and I don't think I should have died. I hope. I don't think I should have died. Well, because you guys this is an emergency and you guys all don't see it. Here he's supported. What happens when he goes home alone? Look, he's barely laughed at a single joke. How do you this has been pretty funny stuff here, if I may say so myself, right? So, at least some of it. So, if that's the case, if he can't laugh at that, what's going to happen when he goes home? Suck it up. You should just suck it up, man. Be a man. Be a man. Figure it out. So, in my view, that's kind of where we're at as a society, okay? And I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry that society thinks that you shouldn't get help. Sorry about that. But on the positive side, you can fix this. Do you believe you could fix it?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to ask you to say, I believe that I could fix this. I'm going to get you to say, I don't believe I can fix this. Say, I believe I can fix it.
I believe I can fix it.
I actually don't believe I can fix this.
I actually don't believe I can fix it.
Where's he at, do you think? Middle, I'd say, right? Well, I can't prove it to you, but I could tell you this. Honestly, if you found old video footage of me, if you've seen old pictures of me, I was just like you, but probably worse, because I had this, but underneath, a lot of anger. Are you angry under this or no?
Yeah.
How angry?
don't know how to explain.
Try.
I'm a little angry.
Okay. What do you feel? What's your anger?
I don't try enough.
That's called self-attack. One of the great ways low vibration energy penetrates the energy body is in self-attack, which then we tell ourselves will motivate ourselves to do better, but in many cases actually just further loads us with low vibration energy. We do nothing. Keep going.
What else?
What else are you mad about? What if you could have been 6'2" and look like a male model? And are your parents super rich or no?
No.
What if you'd been a 6'2" male model with your parents super rich? Why couldn't you have been born like that? Why couldn't you have been that? Or maybe a beautiful woman. Why couldn't you have been that? Born big and strong.
I wouldn't want that.
Why? I actually would. But the point is, what would be a reason not to, though? I think it's okay to admit you'd want it. But what would be a good path or thing you could benefit from given that you didn't have it? Because by the way, like when people get like victimized, I feel like the first level is they're like, I'm glad this happened because it gave me this and this and this. I feel like another level is being like, well, I'm not glad it happened, but it did give me this opportunity. Because I almost feel like having to pretend it was awesome. Like I don't need to pretend it's awesome to be okay with it. I just say that sucked, but here's the opportunities it gave me and I'm gonna work them. And hey, I'm alive. I'm okay to just go with that. Do you wish you're born a 6'2" male model with rich parents? I do, but I wasn't, so I have angles I can take. I probably wouldn't be running the seminar if I'd done that, right? So, I mean, I might be, but I probably wouldn't be. Do you wish you're born a 6'2" male model with rich parents?
Yeah.
Are you just saying that because I told you to say it, or do you believe it?
Oh, it's good not to.
His brain is so shut down he can barely talk. In fear state. Now, what are some advantages that you have not being born like that? We talked about them here. You can give the ones I gave or some of your own.
You learn to be resourceful.
You learn to be resourceful. Okay. What else?
And you learn to live how you want.
Learn how to live how you want. I'd say this. A lot of kids that I see that grew up wealthy are very unhappy because they haven't had to work for it, so they can't appreciate it. Appreciation and your actual palate to let something land is equally important to your positive experience of life as having a good external experience. You know video games, right? Say you play a video game, like say God of War, Horizon Zero Dawn, right? Say you beat the first level, you go to the second level. You're like, oh, the second level. Why are you like, oh, the second level, the third level, the final boss? Why is it that you appreciate each level or weapon that you got, some new weapon? Why? Because you had to work to get it. What if you just started the first level at the end boss and you already had all those weapons? But if you had to fight to get each weapon or each health point or each new level, then the experience is like magnified and powerful. But if you just if you worked for like 20 hours to get to that last boss with all the added health powers and weapons, and then you just hand that controller to your friend and you told him it's the first level, like you can't wait to play that level. But your friend, if you told him it's the first level, he's like, oh, this is okay. Maybe I'll just play it later. A lot of rich kids have that. They can't even let it land. They've been put to the end level. Their brain can't process it. It actually kind of sucks. You're not going to have that at all. People say to me, why do you still go out? I'm like, it is awesome. You know, right? I'm on the last boss. Do you see it? There's a lot of levels, man. So, so you can build off of that. Now, again, I'm going to do a little bit of work on him here, just a tad. But also, are you coming to the 4-day event or no?
Yeah.
That'll be good too. Okay, so we have 4 days of working together there. So, you're coming?
Yeah.
Are you signed up already?
Yeah.
Okay, so I actually didn't think he's coming, and I was like, no, I wasn't going to even push him to do it, but I'm so happy he's coming. I'm like, oh, thank God. Okay, so we'll work on you a bit here, and then we'll work more there. So what we have is the winner effect, what it's doing. Now, here's how to think about the winner effect. So say you go out, you talk to a bunch of people, you're talking to all these people, and if you're getting good responses, suddenly you become funnier. You have an expectation to be heard. Say that with me. An expectation to be heard. Okay? You expect people to laugh. Say it. You expect people to laugh. Okay? You assume familiarity. Okay? Not like in a touchy way, no, but just you assume that it's like you're already friends, okay? Like you think the best of people would be a better way to put it, in case that could be misinterpreted. Now, that being the case, what you'll notice when that winner effect kicks in, you stop micromanaging, you stop self-judging, you stop self-qualifying, and you just start laughing and having fun. And you expect it's going to work, and you're doing it for your own enjoyment. Right now, his contraction is so deep that if he were to try to tell a joke, he'd probably be terrified. Like, just say to the crowd, why'd the chicken cross the road? Or say, why'd the human cross the road? Say that.
Why the human crossed the road?
Louder.
Why the human crossed the road?
Louder.
Why the human crossed the road?
Say, because dick was caught in the chicken. Say it.
Because his dick was caught in the chicken.
Okay. So, we can watch it, okay? Now, I want you to yell that with more conviction. Okay, I picked the most ridiculous joke. Okay, I'm making you laugh with how bad the joke is. So, yell that now. First, ask the question.
Why did the human cross the road?
Louder, louder.
Why did the human cross the road?
Now go, why did the human cross the road?
Why?
Because his
dick was caught in the chicken.
Okay, very good. So, okay. So when we work together, we're just gonna do that same joke for 4 days. Okay, so, but we're gonna do a lot of stuff. Okay, I'm gonna get you to push out of your comfort zone. So what I'm gonna teach you in the 4-day event is what we do as human beings. This is a major pervasive aspect of human society, is we try to get to the center. Look, imagine that you're in a group of 100 people and there's a group of like 10 lions circling us, right? Where do you want to go? Be honest. You don't have to be that fast of a runner, just faster than the next guy, right? So there's a human instinct to do that. We have that as a part of our survival mechanism. It's a part of our evolution. So what you have is where you, as a person, you're afraid, you try to hide in the middle. So if you look at, say, mainstream television, they won't even tell jokes that are actually funny. It's very bizarre. Look at mainstream news. Rather than telling a joke that's actually funny, they're like, it's a little cold out there, Bob. You might want to wear 2 pairs of mittens. And they're like, ha ha ha, Chuck, you're so crazy. And he's like, you too, Bob. And they're both like, and you're like, this isn't funny. Like, this is not funny. What world is this funny, right? Real artists, they don't like mainstream stuff because it's at the center, right? Artists like to push the boundary. There's a fear that you have of being at the edge. You believe that this is safe. What if I told you that if you say like this, your reproductive safety is probably at great risk?
Is it expected?
How many of your ancestors have reproduced?
All of them.
How many people have you ever reproduced with in your life?
0.
Do you believe that your reproductive safety is at risk?
Not sure. Yeah.
Do you think that someone that you would like to mate with would mate with a man that walks up like this? Hi. Yeah. I'm not sure. I'm a 3. And then everyone's laughing and then you go, like that. What do you think the chances are you're going to mate doing that?
-1%.
Okay. He tried to make a joke. Ha ha ha! Okay, so your reproductive safety is at risk. How much money do you make right now?
About 500 every 2 weeks.
Okay. Well, I'm going to make sure I freaking crush the self-help seminar for you. Now you see why I work so hard. So that being the case, are you in college?
No.
What do you do?
Work at Marshall's.
Mm-hmm.
Fixing clothes.
Okay. You like it?
All right.
Okay. What are you doing day to day, week to week, month to month to fix that issue? Because it's okay to work at Marshall's if you're treading water while other things are moving the ball forward. That's great. Uber is a great example of that. You can work what you want to while you're building up your career in some other way or being a waiter or whatever. But what are you doing outside of Marshall's to move yourself forward? I mean, you're here, that's good, but what else?
I watch videos.
Okay. Well, it is better that you watch videos than crap. So that's better. What else? How long have you known about me?
About 5 years.
5 years. How much have you gone out and applied my stuff?
Not much.
What's not much?
Close to none.
Okay. What's close to none?
Maybe a few times over the past years.
How many people did you talk to when you went out? On an average night out?
Can't say.
Take a guess.
One.
Okay. So you talked to one person, better than none. So do you think that you're safe right now?
No. Yeah. I don't think so.
You're not. You're punching at the wall and breaking your hand. It's actually safer to just punch through the wall. You're punching at the wall, the long-term effect of this is going to be you're going to break your hand. Do you understand? There's a lot of people who, as they get older, they stay isolated and working jobs they hate, and they wind up miserable. Is that common?
Yeah.
Is that, what's more common? Someone who's passionate, has a great dating life, and is happy, or people that are miserable in mediocrity? What's more common?
Mediocrity.
What is your current trajectory based on your day-to-day behavior?
Not good.
It's unsafe. It's not safe. You be alive. If your life were to stay like this, would that be okay with you?
No.
Okay. In what? How not okay? Because for me, it was completely not okay. I was like, whatever it takes, this can't be my life. No way. No way. Okay? So let's get back on it. How much no way is this for you?
I'm not happy, so it cannot be like that.
Okay. I would think right now you have an underlying belief, I'm safe when I stay at the center. I understood that I was at risk. It was clear to me, this is gonna be a big problem. This is not gonna be okay. That was clear as day to me. This is not gonna be okay. This is gonna be a very problematic situation to my life. I may have made my life worse by what I did in the long run. We'll see what happens to me. But I certainly am on a good run right now. So that being the case, you've got to stop viewing the center as safe. Okay?
Okay.
You've got to stop viewing it that way. So when we work together at the event, I'm gonna hammer on you for hours. Okay? And I'm gonna get your permission, and if you give it to me, I'm gonna ask your permission, and if you give me permission, I'm gonna be rough with you, not physically, but just like come down on you very hard. And I'm going to reassociate you from this as being safe to make this not safe, okay? And I'm going to make it where it feels more safe to be on the, like, if that's the comfort zone, I want you to view your comfort zone as out here. This is entrepreneurship 101 these days, by the way. You know why? Business is changing so fast right now. So Seth Godin, great author, business author, I love this guy. He says, you've got to get it to where you think this is the safety zone? No. This is the safety zone. Because there's so many options with the internet that if you're not trying new things and being innovative, you're not going to be successful. Funny enough, if you see how much of my personality that I put into my work, a lot of that I was influenced by Seth Godin. Because he said, he's like, just put it all out there, baby. If you just try to fit in and go vanilla, not going to work. He's like, you're better off to go niche and just zone in, okay? Like, there's things that you could do even with this personality where it's like what you can't fix, you feature. I could teach you how to do like a YouTube channel where you're this like shy guy, but you're just crushing it. And everybody's like, this guy is awesome. Like, I could show you how to do that. But I also want you, if you want to do that, that's fine. But I want you to do it from a position of power. Like, you know, like Napoleon Dynamite would be an example where he plays that up. It becomes a feature, what you can't fix, you feature. I could show you that. But I've also got to show you how to do that by choice, not because it's like you don't have any other choice and that's all that you know how to do. Okay? So I'm gonna hammer on you hard. But maybe before you leave, I just like to get you yelling at the crowd a bit because I have a feeling that you've never had that experience, okay? So I'm going to show you a few things about voice. Try right now just going, and like yelling as loud as you can. Show me what that would sound like. So what you're seeing there, I've done this in many exercises, but it's always worth repeating. Was that loud to you?
No.
Okay, then show me loud. Pretty good. Now, he actually did it. Now, you had this reaction where you just did this. You went, and then you did this. Human beings, we all cheer when someone lets go. So you're like, he let go for a minute, but then he stopped. So your clap actually reflected the natural human response to what he did. You ever see one of those breakdancing circles, like the dance circles? I actually do this on boot camps. I'll make dancing circles in the club. It's pretty awesome. And I do all the time. And what happens is like, if you're like, it's always the person who goes in there is like, do I look cool? I look sexy and cool. Everyone's like, okay, right, why? They're making it about them. But it's always the person who just starts vibing out and cares the least. It's not the best dance technique. It's who cares the least, because who cares the least, you know what it means? Who's about the group. When you care how you look, who's that about?
Yourself.
It's a dense, contracted energy. See, he's fronting like he doesn't care. He cares so much what he looks like that he's like, well, if I just don't try anything, then I can't be criticized. He's full in don't try anything mode. If I try nothing, then I can't be criticized. Because that's the problem, right? See, here's what's funny. Everybody in society, even a mainstream outlet that likes to hammer anything with helping people, they'll look at him. Even in his case, he will look like a rough enough case. Even a mainstream outlet will be like, somebody help him, right? But you know what they won't like? When he actually tries to be better and is initially incongruent. That's what they hate. They will sympathize with the starting point. They'll glorify the end point. But it's that in-between journey where he tries to like step out and they're like, he's trying too hard. What a creep. What a creep. So right now, while he's staying on this island, he's on this crappy island with no vegetation, no food, no sun. And there's this beautiful lush island over here, but he doesn't want to have to do the swim. So he'll stick in the discomfort to avoid the risk of the swim, okay? So how do you get him off this island? Well, you just got to firebomb the crappy island, right? You just scorch earth the bad island, and you're like, this island sucks now. Like, it was bad before, but now it's just too much bad, and I just got to get off this island. So show me an extended yell. Show it to me now.
Ah!
Another one.
Ah!
Keep it going. Now, draw it out. Just draw it out.
Oh.
Okay, now I'll show you something else. Okay, everybody do it with him now, okay? One, and you do it too. 1, 2, 3. Stop. Okay. Now, what's happening is for all of you, it's very easy to do it. You know why? Because you're hiding in the center. So actually, to not do it would be scarier because you'd be afraid someone would see you not doing it. So it's very easy to do it. It's hard to be the person who stands out. So what I want you to do is I want you to get familiar with how it felt when everybody else is doing it and feel in your body how easy it was because you did what's called release. You have control muscles, you have release muscles. So what you did there was you release, okay? So everybody will do it, which will put you in the center. You'll actually be scared to not do it. But I want you to remember how that feels. So everybody do it with us again, even a bit louder. They can't even hear you anyway. Go louder. Okay? He's getting a feel for it. So get a feel for the release, okay? Like you heard the group yelling. Was it easy? Even with the group yelling?
I mean, it wasn't easy for me personally.
Okay. Try yelling now. Show me.
Oh! That was good, but it wasn't easy.
So what you did there was you had to, what probably help you, I don't know, but what I've experienced when I've taught these seminars is that because you got to do it in the group a minute ago, you can kind of freshly remember what it was like to have the protection of the group. So one of the great things you can do is get a group to do something and then remember what it's like. So show me a yell right now. So see what happened was see that? So he forgot. You see that? Right? It's not a physical thing. You know they'll tell you, just teach them the technique. Just teach the technique, Owen. Owen, why are you depriving this poor man of the information he needs? Okay, here. Talk louder. Go. Show me loud talk.
Hi, how's it going? Hey,
Now watch this. I'm going to talk quiet, and he's going to talk as loud as he can. And me talking quiet, we'll see who you can hear more. Okay, talk as loud as you can, like, hey, hello, how's it going? What's up? How's your day? What up? Just do all that, and I'll do quiet.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what up?
I want to know how's it going.
I'm talking quiet right now. This is me.
Quiet.
No, talk as loud as you can. Try to talk over me. Try to talk over me as hard as you can.
I really want to go to
What's up,
the
guys?
movies right now.
Okay, so even
It's going to be
okay.
awesome.
Now, that's as loud as you can. This is as quiet as I can. What's happening there?
Wow, it's bouncing out. Or it's not bouncing out.
I had to fix all this. I remember when I was like 23 and my voice would first start to open up and I was like, my voice is opening. This is great. Like, you'll have that experience if he keeps going. I had that experience when I was 23. I started going out working on it. I remember my voice opening up. I was like, you know, or I could tell a joke, or I could dance all of a sudden, or I could sing all of a sudden. This is really weird stuff. That's why I became so passionate about it, was because I came from this. So basically what we have is we're going to go to, see, if you weren't coming to the event, I will scream at you and run down here like an emergency surgery, like literally for hours if I have to. But you're going to be with me for the next 4 days. It's an intimate event, so I'm going to make sure that we just, especially with you told me you work at a job that's not paying you a ton, I will make sure, I'm going to go nuts for you, okay? I'm going to go crazy for you. I'm just going to be like, boom, boom, right? I can't do a miracle, but I will push this ball forward, but you've got to be ready to be stretched. You ever heard me say in some of the preview videos I've done for our 4-day self-help where I say, it's not just about seminar, it's about doing exercises? This is what I'm talking about here in any example, because no matter what level you're at, you can improve. So literally, I'm just going to hammer you. Like, you've watched my videos for 5 years, and like, this is what we got, right? So we've got to work together, and we've got to get exercises. I'm sure that my videos gave you great hope. It gave you better understanding. It was probably more healthy to watch than just like random TV. But we've got to make the change together. Yeah, you're about to say something, I can tell? No? Okay, of course. So, okay. When I do that, by the way, what I'm doing is teaching. What do you think I'm doing when I say that to him? What am I slowly doing? I'm torching the island. You guys see that? I'm beginning the process of torching the island. If he was only with me for a few hours, I would just be like, boom, 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 until he's like, oh, I can't do this. And then just like, basically, you've got to torch the old island, and then it's now safer to be in your more expanded zone, right? For me, funny enough, I know that being expansive, funny, socially gregarious, when I go to do boot camp, I've got to crush it. I don't have a choice. And I know that if I don't use my skills, my life's going to be worse. See, I feel more safe here than he feels here. Because, by the way, do you want to know when you feel really safe? When you get to the lush island. It's that in-between swim that's the hard part. That's where it gets tricky, is the in-between swim, right? I feel safer than you do. You're in safety, but you're in a place that's not really safe. You see that? Yeah. There's no safety where you are. That's the beginning. The beginning is recognizing it's not safe here. This isn't where I should be. There's a better place to be. And then once you start paddling, here's the next step. You've got to get past the halfway point where it would be further to swim back than it would be to keep going. So at this point, you go off the shore a little bit, you come back. That's like, right? Getting out of that protected center. So we've got to get you to a point where it's safer just to keep going, okay? So we're going to work through that this weekend. The kind of things it will be is a lot of exercise work, and we're just going to keep pushing through it and pushing through it and pushing through it, and it's going to hurt and hurt and hurt, but we need it to hurt to heal, because it's like a broken bone. We've got to snap it back like this, okay? You see, you're about to smile there. Okay? So we'll work on this, okay? Could you guys give me a hand for coming up? We'll be back at it tomorrow. We'll go deep, okay?